And today we are having one of my favorite conversations of the year, looking back at how 2025 has been and even more what our expectations are for 2026. It's quite weird because this is my first time of sitting to have a conversation, more like taking a reflection of how the year has been for me. And joining me is my good friend Abigail Addison.
Yeah.
It's here for us to have this conversation. Abby, how have you been?
I've been fine, taking things one day at a time.
And how many weeks since we last met? 2
A
weeks?
coffee festival.
That was a coffee festival.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how was your experience?
It was great. I enjoyed it. I like coffee, even though, like I shared with you, I have to be careful how I take it because my body tends to sometimes react negatively. But yeah, I was happy to be there, seeing the different types of coffee. I've tried your Fortune coffee.
Fortune coffee. What variety did you taste?
So my friend, remember?
Yeah,
she bought the blend.
The blend. Oh, okay.
And I had some sometimes. It was good.
Yeah, so the blend is the three Arabica, Robusta, and Liberica. Yes. Were you able to sleep that night?
I was. It was actually in the evening. I was surprised.
Yeah.
But I'd eaten well, like I said. Once I've eaten well and I drink coffee, I'm fine. Like if I take it on empty stomach, I start having tremors and all kinds of uneasiness. So yeah.
Well, we're here.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I'm formally sitting down to take stock of my year and, well, in this case, your year as well. And I don't know, but I want us to touch points on 5 key areas. And we'll look at social, spiritual, business, physical, and health. Because I believe that these 5 areas shapes our journey, and they would definitely also be part of 2026. So socially, I don't know, socially, what comes to mind? Socially, how has it been for you?
The lessons I've learned.
Yeah.
So I'll say that have fun. One thing, I'm a people's person. So one of the things that makes me come alive is chatting with people, being out there.
Yeah.
And I've learned that it's good to work hard. It's good to, be focused on your goals and your aspirations, but make time to interact with people because it actually helps with your mental health. Go out there, laugh, talk, tease each other. I have a few friends that every now and then we go. You don't even necessarily have to go and get like food, like how do I say it? A fancy restaurant, and just drink somewhere, kebab somewhere, something simple, just so that you can interact with each other. And for me, it's always fulfilling. I have fun when I do that. So that's one thing I've learned over the years. Like growing up, I didn't really have a lot of outings, because we're being protected a bit, and it was all good.
Your parents were strict?
I won't say they were strict, but they insisted on us behaving in a certain way. My dad is a retired reverend, so you can understand.
So a pastor's daughter.
I'm a PK, a pastor's kid, exactly. So you're expected to behave in a certain way, not follow a certain crowd, and it was all well and good. But sometimes, in trying to protect us, they sometimes go overboard. So you're too shielded. So it's only in my adult years that I come to realize that it's okay. So every now and then, sit somewhere, meet somebody, have fun. And that really helps me to, rejuvenate and to rest. And that's one advice I would give. That's a lesson I've learned.
So do you think your cycle of friendship has expanded this year? Did it expand this year, or you are keeping it tight and closer?
I would say it's expanded because
it's expanded. Yes. Well, so I'm an add-on. Yeah.
Exactly, and a few other people.
Yeah.
And this happens when I get to go for programs like the coffee festival and stuff. I also recently I'm taking on photography. I love taking pictures of nature.
So you are learning how to perfect your photography skills. Okay.
Yeah. So I got myself a camera, and I went for a training session by Rodney Kwaku. I don't know if you know him.
No.
Canon with Canon.
Yeah.
And I met.
Oh, okay.
Sylvanus. He came for the coffee festival. I met him there. So yeah, I would say that my social circles have expanded.
Has expanded. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting to know more people. Definitely, those I knew in the past, I still know them, but they're not the only ones I hang around with. I've gotten to know more people from church, from other places. Yeah. So
I know some people are very intentional with the kind of friends they have.
sure.
Would you do you see yourself as someone who is very intentional and picky when it comes to friendship or people you call friends?
I won't say picky because sometimes picky can be seen as negative.
Yeah.
But I'm cautious
Cautious, yeah.
because as the Bible says, bad company corrupts
Corrupt good
character.
morals, yeah.
Yes. So you need to be careful. You need to have friends who will build you up, who will support you, who will encourage you, and those are the people I look out for. And then over the years, I've also come to learn that I also need to be that kind of friend. You know, you are, again, they say that you are what you attract.
Yeah.
So if you are the kind who also helps people, encourages people, you know, your aim is to build them up, then you'd also have those kind of friends around you. And it's very important. Otherwise, you'll be led astray.
Yeah.
You need to have the focus. You need to know where you're going in life. And those who can come alongside you and help you to get there, as you also help them to also achieve their goals and get to their destination.
So any disappointment in terms of friendships this year?
This year, disappointment. Well, in some ways,
Yeah.
you know, because you might get to know somebody and there might be some things that they will do that will hurt you, that will annoy you, you know, or disappoint you, you know. But I've also come to learn that you don't just cut people off.
Yeah.
Everybody is in your life for a reason. So what you need to do is identify why they are with you. You don't need to be best friends with them.
Yeah.
They don't need to be buddies.
Yeah.
They can be people you still talk to every now and then.
Yeah.
If there are certain things about them that you've noticed that you realize that it doesn't work for you, you apply wisdom as to how you relate to them and see how the relationship somehow can still be healthy and not necessarily be enemies.
Yeah.
You get it? Yeah. So I'm learning to befriend people, know who they are, know why they're in my life, and relate to them as such. And also, again, be someone who will help them, who will encourage them to be the best they can be. Yeah.
And asking about the relationship status of people can be tricky sometimes, but I don't know in terms of relationship, how I don't know your status.
I don't mind. I'm single.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and I've been in some relationships which haven't worked. This year, one thing I've learned is let's not hold on to relationships and entanglements that we know definitely are not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes the fear of loneliness, the fear of not having that person you can chat with and share stuff with. Sometimes that fear of not having that will make you hold on to some relationship that is not necessarily healthy for you.
Yeah.
You know, but one thing I'm learning, I wasn't successful at it
this year,
but I've learned my lesson.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a learning curve for me. I'm learning that, God has better plans for us.
Yeah.
So I should learn to be able to face the loneliness, the fears and the anxieties, and trust God to take me through and give me something better. Because sometimes when you hold on to such relationships, they cost you. And there are some of the things that you lose that you can't get back, like your time.
Yeah.
You're spending so much time with this person and it's not going anywhere.
Bringing any value.
Yeah, exactly. You're wasting your time and so many other things. So that's another thing that I've learned. To just be brave and trust God. This person is not good for me. This relationship is not good for me. I'm going to let them go. I'm going to move on and be a better person. Yeah. So, negative things happen to us, but if you're able to handle them well, it turns out for our good.
Yeah.
So, though I've been through a difficult time in terms of relationships, it's made me a better person. And moving forward, I'm going to use these lessons to help me take the right decision.
So what's your expectations in terms of like a social category or social box for 2026? What are you hoping to do new in 2026?
How do you mean by social board?
Yeah, like everything
the,
socially.
The kind of people.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can add that to it.
I'm going to keep having fun. I keep telling people these days, even the way people are dying left and right, they're like, you're not guaranteed tomorrow. And again, I'm a Christian, so sorry if I keep referring to the Bible. In fact, I'm not apologizing.
Yeah, no apologies.
Expect that from me. The Bible says tomorrow is not guaranteed. You know, you could drop off at any time.
Our only reality, I tell people, is the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever God has blessed you with, enjoy it. Of course, you're not going to go overboard and misbehave or be careless, but enjoy what God has for you. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the people. You know, let them know you love them. I mean, just have fun. So that's what I'm going to continue doing. But at the same time, to, like I said, the lessons I've learned, I'm going to apply as I move along. One of the things I also learned, I'm a very friendly person. I'm very sure the way I even met you were
very affable. Yeah.
So in the past, that has it's worked for me both positively and negatively. Such that I start chatting with, especially person of the opposite sex, chatting and touching before you know it, you're so close and you're feeling a whole lot of So that was one thing I told myself even this year.
Yeah.
That despite the fact that I'm friendly, I'm going to put some
boundaries, so you don't overstep.
So I don't get overboard
or give the wrong picture of reality.
Exactly.
Especially to the opposite sex.
And I can see it working in my new friendships, in my new interactions, and it's healthy for me. So I don't, like I said, I don't give the wrong impression, and I also don't hurt myself. So moving forward, that's how, with God's help.
Socially. So for me, I think I always say that this year has been my year of lessons, because has it been a tough year? I think by far this has been my most toughest year of all years that I've had on earth. But it's also my best year. But socially, I started the year at a very difficult place. I think I mentioned to you I had to be separated from marriages. I lost my marriage just around the end of December. So I had to leave home. I left home on 26th December. And for the first, I think about 2 weeks, 2 weeks after 26th, I said I was homeless. I didn't have a place to stay. I was just pitching at a friend's house in a small room. And the only thing I had around me was 2 jute bags that had clothes that I just smuggled in, and my laptop. And I learned to start living all by myself and alone. And
so how many years?
After 7 years of marriage. So for the first time after 7 years, I was alone without my kids, 3 kids. And what made it difficult was I had a newborn, like a new baby. Just around that time, we had him on 3rd December, and I left him on 26th December. So for me, the difficulty was not being home, not being present, because for the first or the last 2, I was present with them, and much as I wanted to be with him, the new baby, I didn't have that opportunity to be with him, and it was quite a lonely period for me. I can recall the number of times I burst out in tears, but I told myself that I wasn't going to break down. So it was an agreement I had with my subconscious mind. I told my subconscious mind that we are going to go through a very difficult time, but just don't embrace yourself for the difficult times coming. We'll sail through and all that. And so having found myself in that space, I reflected I had a lot of recollections, and I decided to take one day at a time. I also learned within that time, from that time till now, that it was better to keep sort of a very small circle, very small circle of friends who you can fall on, than having like a wide or bigger collection of friends.
No one cares.
I go through my phone contacts. I have over 2,000 contacts on my phone, but I can tell you, during my turbulent period this year, I can't count more than 10 people whom I could depend on. I call and for that I'm very grateful that I had a very small circle of social connections that I could fall on, my family, my parents and my siblings and a few friends that I can count who came through for me. So my biggest lesson is that having a small circle of people who truly support you and challenge you is, like I said, is worth than having 1,000 casual contacts on your phone. And through this period too, socially, yes. So my circle of friends is cut. And going into the new year, I can tell you that I am picking and choosing my friends because I've also come to know them. And that awareness, I think, has really helped me. And even in 2026, something that I'm going to be cautious of, because the reality is that not everyone who smiles at you wants your good. Yeah, wants your good. So I've really learned that lesson. So I'm going to keep a very small circle of social connections in 2026. Not to say I am going to withdraw or I'm being picky in quotes, but I think for my own sanity, I want to bring closer to me the people who truly mean what they mean to me in 2026. So it's very important. But overall, it's been a very good year socially. There were times I felt like shutting down. I didn't want to be amongst people. I call that like dark moments of solitude. There were days I didn't know the particular day, as in date, in terms of date. I knew maybe today was Tuesday, but I could go like 5 days and like I don't even know the day because I wasn't looking at the calendar. I was just alone in the room, and living alone or being all by myself also made me focus on things that really matter. And within that period, I also noticed that sometimes it's just okay to be alone, just to be by yourself. My mom will call me, my dad will call me, come home, we don't hear from you, don't call me. And I had to explain to them that I just wanted to be alone by myself. And through that, it offered me the moment to reflect on all the ills that happened in my marriage, what I contributed to, and what could have been better. And so there were moments of tears. I'm
glad to know that.
I cried. I cried. For me,
societal I mean, it really worries a lot of men.
There were times I call it taking tears break. So I'll be in the office and I feel I want to cry. So like I'll just take a break and walk from the office, just take a stroll, and then I'll go and cry and talk to God, and then I'll wipe my tears and I'll come back.
You know, just reminded me of something funny someone told me. Talking of crying. So I'm not the kind to easily burst into tears in the open. You know, and I think God has given me that personality of being able to hold things together and support people. So I was sharing with somebody recently. They were asking me about my life, and he goes like, "You don't look like someone who can cry."
Because you don't cry outside.
He does. He said the way I've been carrying myself, he doesn't think. And that I need to be given lessons on how to cry. You know, steps on how to cry. So when you're talking about crying, but like I told him, most of my crying is done behind closed doors. And it's so relieving when you're talking about crying break. For me, one of the ways that I'm able to deal with the burdens on my chest is to cry. You know, and once I'm able to do that, some weight is lifted off. Of course, the crying doesn't solve the problem. But somehow it brings some, should I call it psychological relief?
It does.
Or physical relief. And after that, then I start thinking through, you know, how to. And one thing I've learned is also not to indulge in the crying. Because some people end up staying there, and that's why you have all these conditions, depression.
You get into into depression.
So I also have that at the back of my mind that yes, it's good to cry, but also as you cry, know that this situation won't last forever.
Yeah.
So after crying a bit, just put yourself together. Things you like you did. How did I contribute? Why did the other person do what they did? Why did the situation turn this way? And have an objective mind.
Yeah.
You know, to be able to reason through and come out a better person. So crying is good.
No, it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. I find myself slipping into tears any moment, especially when I start praying. I'm crying, and sometimes when I look at my kids' pictures, like I cry. I think it's better, but I don't stop it when it comes. I don't stop it when it comes.
Yeah, you shouldn't bottle it.
So spiritually, I think it's been a year of spiritual stretch for me. But I revisited my Bible for the first time 2 nights ago.
Oh, really? How long did you take a break?
No, for almost like a year.
Okay.
And I
because of what you're going through.
Yeah, because the previous year was very, very challenging for me.
Yeah.
The loops in the marital challenges. And so it got to a point where I didn't feel like praying about my marriage again. I said like I was just ready for it to just die. Casually in my mind.
Giving up.
Yeah, I didn't feel like working at it again. And so I stopped reading the Bible. I stopped reading the Bible. I own just one Bible, my favorite Bible, New King James. I bought it somewhere in 2012, and so I packed it. But what I'm grateful for is I didn't lose my faith.
Yeah.
Even throughout the challenges, I knew that God was still my source of pillar and was still my source of faith. Just that my mode of prayer changed. I more like prayed. It wasn't. I wasn't engaged in formal prayers. It was just having casual conversations, heartfelt, conversation with God, crying through prayer and talking through things. And so I was very, very highly aware of my spirituality. But one thing that I experienced that also helped me, I tell people that if I have become a good Christian, it's because of Buddhism.
Oh, really? That is interesting. Tell me.
Yeah, Buddhism.
Really?
So I found Buddhism. I've always loved the teachings of Buddhism. Buddhism essentially is just a way of life, and the center of Buddhism is ethics and kindness and compassion, non-harming. Even though Buddhism doesn't believe in like a divine command or the existence of God, but it teaches you morality. And Buddhism, during my difficult moment, taught me that if you are going through anything in life and you can do something about it, do it. But if you can't do anything about the circumstance, there's no need to worry.
And that's what the Bible
it's essentially the same. You don't, so I learned that in Buddhism. So that was, I started practicing meditation. And I think it brought a more sync between my conscious mind and my subconsciousness, because I learned how to meditate. So every morning, first thing in the morning, I'll just close my eyes and more like have a mental video or mental picture of things I'm going through and things that I hope to change in my circumstances. And it helped me. And through that, I learned not to harbor things, not to be angry. So one thing I learned in regards to action and reaction was that I always own my reaction to things. For example, if you do or say something bad at me, I can't control what you said. I didn't have control over what you said, but what I have is how I react to it. And it helped me in managing how I reacted to things and circumstances, anger. And I learned to accept no or to take no. Before then, it was a big thing. If someone said no to me on something, I would make a big deal out of it, sort of rationalize it to think why they said no to me. But one of the things I learned in this period was just to accept no. So Buddhism actually changed my perspective of things, to accept the reality of things, that There are happy times in life. There are sad times in life. Death is inevitable. And yet, Buddhism took away my fear of death. And so now I could say that my only reality was in the present. So I started enjoying the present. And I tell people, a lot of the times we concentrate so much in the future. But if you are always in the future, you get anxious because you don't have control over the future. And if you are worried and your mind is in the past, you don't have any control over but the past is gone. Yeah. But your only reality is always in the present. So through Buddhism, I learned to live in the present. So now if anyone asks me what my favorite or my best day is or was, I will say now that we are talking, this is my best period in life because this is my present. I don't have control over what will happen in the next minute, 10 minutes. I don't know what will happen tomorrow, but I have today. So during my struggles, it helped me to appreciate instead of dwelling over all what could have worked well and all that. It helped me to appreciate life and bring my mind to the present and take one day at a time. So I was more like in the intersection of Buddhism and Christianity. Yeah, Buddhism and Christianity. And I think I've become a better person, and I attribute it partly to the teachings of Buddhism. That also didn't deviate me from my core belief in God. And spiritually, I think my faith has been rekindled. I told you 2 nights ago, I went to take my Bible. I started reading some of my favorite scriptures. And I also learned how to activate my faith and how to speak into things and get them to happen in my favor, because I realized that there's this scripture that says faith is it Hebrews 11? Faith is the evidence is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Yeah. So I've learned that the mental picture I have of things are the substance of things I'm hoping for. So if I speak into those things, they become evident. And I've had some tremendous miracles by activating and professing my faith.
You want to share some examples?
No, I'll tell you.
I'm saying this. Okay, so what you quoted is Hebrews 11 verse 1.
Hebrews 11 verse 1. Yeah, faith is the evidence is the substance of things hoped for.
The evidence of things.
Evidence of things, yeah. So I think my spirituality is on track. And yesterday, around 11, 12, I felt a very strong burden in my heart to pray. And so for the first time in a number of months, like at midnight, I was praying. And I think I love my faith. I love my spirituality. I think I'm better in terms of spirituality where I was last year. And going into 2026, I even want to build my spirituality even better and take it to higher levels. Yeah.
Not to stretch the point, but how did you end up with Buddhism?
With Buddhism? Yeah. I think I stumbled on a Buddhism teaching. I watched a podcast with a monk, and he sort of revealed the core principles of Buddhism, that it's essentially a way of life. It doesn't believe in harming, like it's about love, it's about compassion, it's about not worrying. And I found it very practical to live. I didn't feel I needed to pray or feel bad or less of a person, ask for forgiveness. There was a thing about Christianity that always made me feel unwholesome. You know, that voice that says you are not good, the intentionality of sin, like you've committed sin, you need to come to God, you've done this, you've done that. I was just tired of all of that. I just wanted to live and have a free pathway to connect with my maker. And I think Buddhism, through the teachings of Buddhism, didn't feel I was unwholesome, I was a sinner. I had done this and I wasn't worthy. It was more like I could go straight and connect and talk to my divine maker. So I like the teachings of Buddhism. I like just the first time I listened to it.
Okay. So what you just said about that voice, I want to remind you that that's the voice of the devil. God will never condemn you. What he'll do is rebuke you, yes, because he doesn't want you to perish. So he'll make you aware of your sin. But what he does after that is not to make you feel condemned, but he will ask you to come to him to be cleansed. Because you, on your own, you can't change yourself. You can't take your sin away. It's only God who can. So anytime you have that feeling, don't think that that is Christianity.
Christianity,
It's not.
It's just
that is far from Christianity. Christianity, first of all, is not a religion like we say. It's a relationship with God.
With God,
and in that relationship, God's love draws us to himself, even in our sin. So when you sin and you feel guilty, instead of you, sometimes it could even be your own voice, because you are aware of sin. You know. So when you do something, you have that guilty conscience that talks to you. When it does, don't stay there. Don't let it make you shy away from God. Rather, let it draw you to God.
To even pray.
It's in God's presence that you get your liberation.
I think I've overcome that.
So
I think I've overcome that.
I'm glad that God even used Buddhism to draw you back to him. So if you, like you admitted earlier, all the things you said, they are in the Bible.
They are in the Bible, yes.
You know, no worrying.
You know,
loving,
they are all narratives in the Bible.
Exactly.
No, I agree. I agree.
So if at any point you feel like there's a voice condemning you, know that it's not of God. And God, like I said, will rebuke you, but he'll draw you to himself. And that's a lesson that I learned, talking about my spirituality. There were things that I did that I knew that I didn't deserve God. And like you, at certain points in the year, I couldn't go to God. I couldn't open my Bible to you because I felt like a hypocrite.
You're not worthy.
I felt like, why are you going to go to ask him to do this a lot for you, or to even chat with him when you are clearly disobeying him? You know the right thing to do and you're not doing it. So why are you even going to him? But one lesson that he taught me this year is that the best thing I can do for myself in those times is not run away from him, because the more I run away from him, the more I make myself vulnerable to the devil. The more I veer off to do the wrong thing. Because like how the prey and the predator will always go for the isolated prey, because they don't have the support of, if you watch, I like nature, like I said, so I watch a lot of National Geographic, and when you look at, especially the lions, they will isolate either the weakest one or the youngest one. And once they isolate them and they don't have the support of the rest of the group, they can catch them easily. And that's what happens in Christianity as well. If you tell yourself that, I've sinned, so I'm going to stay away from God, I'm going to stay away from fellowship, you're rather doing yourself a disservice. Rather go to God and admit that there's nothing in me that I can use to change myself. You are the only one who can change me. And that's what has brought me where I am now. It's helped me to, first of all, acknowledge my sin and my sinfulness, and also the fact that it's only God who can change me. So one of the prayers I pray is from Ezekiel 36, and God talks to the Israelites and tells them that even though they have intentionally defiled his name, even though they disobey him, he himself is going to take their heart of stone and give them a heart of flesh. And he will change them and he will bless them. And the hope is that the love that he shows them will make them see the gravity of their sin and turn to him. And that's how I see God dealing with me, and in terms of my spiritual life right now. So instead of running away from him, now I go to him. But again, that's not the license to sin. If you say that, I can go to God when I sin, that means that you haven't understood what it means to have a relationship with God. You get it? So rather, I'm going to him to, first of all, cleanse me, give me a heart of flesh, so I can respond to him, and also continue to take hold of the grace he's given me to say no to sin and to walk with him. So I can say that by God's grace, despite the things I've been through in the past year, I've grown in my spirituality, in my fellowship with God. I really have grown. I've come to understand his love. That was another thing I struggled with, understanding God's love and expressing that love to others. But through my experience with him, I've come to understand his love. His love, like I said, I'm like, I don't deserve this love. What kind of love is this? where I'm so stained, I'm so dirty, but you still choose to embrace me. You still choose to provide for me. You still choose to love me. I have the support of family. I lack nothing.
Yeah.
But here I'm so unworthy. So yeah, I can say I'm in a good place, and I'm still learning.
Yeah. So we even look forward to a higher spiritual growth.
Yeah.
In 2026. Now let's talk about maybe we'll touch a little bit on business.
Yes.
But one thing both of us have in common too is we lost our jobs in.
Well, I'll say I quit my job.
You quit your job. I lost my job.
Okay.
My contract was ended in a very weird fashion. Much as I don't want to go into the details of it, just when I was trying to put my feet back because I had separated, and I had even taken loans from friends to pay off my rent because I had to quickly find a place, and I was just in the process of paying my debt. And somewhere in August, another shock came. I woke up one morning and I had no job.
Oh, wow.
Like I had no job. But at that point, I had encouraged myself that every misfortune is part of life. So instead of brooding and hurting over things that I don't have control over, I would rather focus on things that I have control over. So yes, I lost my job. In fact, I had some few days to hand over like everything and leave. So I accepted it as another reality. And even though I had in mind a few things I wanted to start, I wanted to teach kids in podcasting. I had developed a podcast manual, training manual. So it was something I wanted to do. Because I think the earlier we got them in telling stories around them, the better. Because now they also see the environment. They are very aware and conscious of the environment. And I just felt it's about time we empowered kids to also be at a place where they can also tell their own story in their own environment.
That's interesting, actually.
Yeah, so I had a plan to start a project where I'll be teaching podcasting for schools, basic schools and private schools. That was more like my backup. So yes, I lost my job and I worked my proposal out, took it to schools, and I was hoping that in the immediate month, I was going to jump onto that. And even though money wasn't my focus, I was hoping it will sort of keep me engaged, and then I could build on that together with the podcast. But I worked several proposals, sent it to over 30 schools in Accra, and none fell through.
Oh, really?
Because at the time I sent my proposals, the new academic term had just begun. Okay. And so I was just like a 2 weeks late into the new term. So they asked me to, even though they liked the idea, they asked me to come back in the new term so that we look at it. So I would say for 5 months now, August, September, October, November, December, I've been without a monthly income. And if anyone asks me how I've kept going and how I've managed, I don't know. Then again, I'm grateful to my support system because I've had a very close support systems. Or a system of friends and family who chip in to support me, and they have kept me going. And then once a while, I get some MC gigs to complement. So that was also one thing that happened. But even in that too, I am grateful because my hope for 2025 was to keep consistency with the podcast. Last year, when I started, I wasn't consistent. I started, and at some point, you know the feeling when you realize that you are putting in a lot of money in production and nothing is coming in. You're like, who even sent me? Who sent me? So I dropped off. I dropped the momentum. But this year I've been consistent, and I am happy. And out of being alone, losing my job and all that, new ideas have come through for me, and I've been able to conceive another concept that I'll be filming next year. So I've sort of had much more clarity and focus with where I want this podcast to go. And one good thing that I learned also in all this was I stopped chasing the algorithm. I was telling you the other
That
time, a
can
lot of
get you
people are so much
crazy.
focused on likes,
Yeah.
who watch, but I decided I wasn't going to chase the algorithm. I was going to churn out positive content and build a genuine organic community in nature's own time. Even though I have a plan of things I hope to achieve or milestones I hope to achieve. So in terms of business, yes, I lost my job, my regular job, but I wouldn't say it's been a loss. Out of it, I've been able to keep momentum with the podcast, and I'm even looking forward to more things in terms of like business opportunities and work or job. I don't know. in 2026. So how has it been after quitting your job?
Like you, it's been by grace. So actually, the job I had before paid really well.
Yeah.
So by God's grace, I was able to save up some money. So when I quit actually on Valentine's Day.
14th February.
Yeah. But of course, I gave notice before then. But that was my last day. So I left. And at the time, I had some money to fall back on. I mean, enough to...
It had some reserves.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference. I didn't have any reserve.
It can be difficult. So I had at least to last me for at least 3 months.
Okay.
So that's what I was. And I was... In fact, since I started the show, so I have an online show called the Imani.
Your podcast. Yeah.
And I've been paying out of pocket. Every now and then I have some people contributing, but I don't have like a sponsor continuously sponsoring.
Putting in money in it.
Majority of the time it's been out of pocket, even while I was working. So one of the reasons why I quit my job was so I could focus on the show, because I realized that sometimes it became like a knee-jerk reaction. I got so busy with work. The week starts and I haven't planned for the show. Then midway through the week, suddenly I'm like, hey, I have to, who is my guest? You know? So I sat back, I was like, no, I need to focus, because that's actually my passion. That's where I thrive. So that's one of the reasons why I quit. So I continued paying out of pocket. Every now and then I get people contributing. And the hope was that by the end of this year, I would have a
monetized.
Start monetizing, so I was working. I also became very consistent. I, by God's grace, developed the aesthetics of the show.
The show, how you wanted it to be.
I got my producer to make an intro, outro. I mean, all the specs, to make it presentable on social media, and I was excited. Things were going well, and the subscribership was building, but not at the momentum I was hoping.
Hoping for.
And gradually my reserves got depleted. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Now I have to think of how to take care of myself, how to keep the show going. Dear. But God has been gracious.
Gracious, that's a word.
He has. I had to put the show on hold at a certain point.
Yeah.
But I didn't want, like I tell people, I didn't want radio silence. So I started with
your exercise.
And that has engaged the channel for some time. I've actually started another channel to have that. It was supposed to be a filler, but now because of people's feedback and the interest we've expressed, it's become like a standing thing. Like it's come to stay.
No,
so
that's
still
progress.
So yes, I'm really grateful to God for that. And I'm building the audience gradually.
Great.
And in terms of the monetization, I haven't gotten there. So I'm appealing to you.
Please subscribe
to the Imani Reviews show. I have 911 subscribers. I need at least 1,000 to start the monetization. And then 2,000 watch hours. And as we speak, I have about 1,000 something watch hours. Sorry, 4,000
watch hours.
So I'm gradually getting there. It hasn't been easy. It's been very challenging. I mean, every day, you're like, what's going to happen tomorrow? How am I going to survive? But like you, I also have a support system. And I'm grateful, really grateful.
Shout out to our support system.
Yes, my family, some of my friends. God bless you so much for your support. And it's all helping to keep us going. And one day,
okay.
I mean, things will turn.
Yeah, things have turned. Things have turned,
Amen.
Abby. Things have turned.
In Jesus' name, I believe that. Yes. So God bless you all for.
Yeah. So to our support systems who have held us from God knows when.
Yeah.
We thank you so much, friends, family, close friends. Thank you so much.
And they continue to.
Yeah.
All those, some it's not even just monetary support, but ideas, suggestions,
advice,
guidance.
Some people are also praying for us.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is also very important.
In several ways.
Yeah.
And it's all working.
Yeah.
So them coming.
Yeah, so we'll wrap it up with we'll talk about physical and health.
Yeah.
So right from the beginning of the year, because of how my year started, I think I mentioned I had a deal with my mind. I told my mind that the year is going to be a tough year. So I made a conscious agreement with my mind that we are not going to overthink. We are not going to get into depression, because I experienced depression somewhere in 2012, 2013. It was very horrible. So I told my mind that we are not going to get into depression. And I think that sank into my subconscious mind. So I was very, very much clear with that. So within all the struggles and the challenges, I was still able to focus mentally to do the things that matter. Within this period, I was still able to write my academic thesis. I was writing. I was able to. Really impressive. Yes, I was able to read, and I was also very consistent with my gym workouts. Okay. So if there's any particular year I've been very active at the gym, I think it's this year, because that's where the gym is so therapeutic for me. Yeah, that's where I get my mental clarity and focus. And so this year I've been very consistent from January throughout till now. I've not missed the gym even for a week. Yeah, I've been very consistent with that, and for that I'm grateful. I've also been very mindful of my diet. Last year I weighed about 86 kg, and I wanted to calm down a bit. My aim was to basically shred and have some lower body fat. So I've been down to about 79 kg. And yeah, I don't know if I still want to keep this form, or maybe I'll eat a little bit. But I've been eating eggs and meat. Okay. That's my favorite, and drinking coffee every day.
The coffee bit. That's the one we have to work on.
So I've been very cautious of my diet. That I'm happy for. Of course, there are days I crave for the sweet things. If I crave when I crave for it, I make sure I get it. But I get it. But I've been very mindful of my physical, my mental, and my emotional health. So I can have anxieties within a period, but anytime it's building up, then I activate, I counter-react to it, and I get off for that. So that's also something that I'm hoping to keep up into 2026, to protect my mental space, keep on with engaging in physical activity, and stay productive, and pretty much about that. I think this year has also been a year that I've read a lot of books. So I brought the books here, some of the books here. I told you have to read this book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. So these books have kept me amidst all my challenges and my difficult times. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. And this book, Abby, you should read it. Think and Grow Rich. I've been reading this, and I got this book too because I failed at marriage. Gary. So I decided, I love Gary Chapman. Love language, the 5 love languages, and I think this is very insightful, because when I recollect, I think there were things, if I had knew, probably things wouldn't have gone too south in my marriage. So I've been reading this too, and then The Psychology of Money. But my favorite book this year has been The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari.
I think you mentioned it.
Yes, by Robin Sharma. He's actually one of my favorite writers.
He did 5 a.m. Club.
Yes, and then he also wrote Leadership Without Title, or Leaders Without Title. And then he also wrote this book, Who Will Cry When You Die? And this is also very revealing, practical steps on how to go about life. And one of my favorite books is the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. and I think it's also something everyone should read.
Mm-hmm.
So these have been my companions. I have
Okay.
Meditations, Marcus Aurelius,
Okay.
and what I've done this year is I reduced the time I spend on social media scrolling. And I was telling you, I've been on a digital detox for 21 days now.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go on Facebook last week Sunday, but I didn't feel for
like
it. Yeah, so I've deleted Facebook from my phone.
Okay. Okay.
And if I have to resume, get back on social media, probably I'm going to check Facebook maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day to see what's happening, and maybe and it will strictly be on my PC, and that has afforded me the space to rechannel those times of scrolling on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, to read books. And these books have done so great for me. I love sales, so Fanatical Prospecting.
Okay.
It's a book I go to every now and then. Yeah, so I think this year has been a very good year for me. It's been the most toughest and the most challenging, but it's also been the best year for me because I have rediscovered a lot about me, and I think I have much more clarity and focus on where I want my life to go, and more like I have become the architect of my own life or my own fortune. So I'm shaping that gradually, and so that's basically. Tell me briefly about your physical and your health, and then we wrap up the conversation.
Yeah, I have a similar story. So I also fell ill some years ago. I think 2022. It was really bad. I had some panic attacks. It started off with some symptoms, and we couldn't figure out what it was. But long and short, over time, I was able to, a diagnosis was made, and I managed, by God's grace, to recover. But it took about 3 months, to get there. I remember it was close to my 40th birthday, and I was quite sad that I couldn't even enjoy the food on my birthday. But God was good. But I learned lessons, about how to take care of myself physically. At the time, so I was doing a lot of high intensity exercise.
Okay. Yeah.
But because of the illness, I had to
slow down to mild or low intensity. Yeah, for a while.
Yeah, for a long time till I recovered fully. Then I was able to go back to start something gradually. So this year, I started off. I was in good health. I mean, I also recognized the triggers.
Yeah.
For especially the mental aspect. Getting stressed out and not being able to think straight. And the work I was doing was really, really hectic.
Yeah.
So I had to hold myself in check. If I thought I needed a break away from work, I'll give myself that break. I mean, while I was working, take some time off when, just rest my mind a bit and come back. So I was taking precautions.
Yeah.
And then when I quit, and then I had to fill the gap between cutting the show and then resuming. The physical exercise also has been very helpful. So every day, in fact, I do my recordings every day.
Yeah.
Every morning. Then
the consistency is key. Keeping the momentum. That's impressive.
It's not just me helping others. I'm also helping
yourself.
Keeping myself healthy.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Walking is one of the things that helps a lot with my mental health. When my mind is all over the place.
Yeah.
Once I get out of the house and I start walking, there's some calm and peace.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's been great having you, Abigail. I think we can go on and on and on and on. We should do this quite often.
We should.
Maybe 2026 we'll be taking quarterly stock.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, using these benchmarks as references.
That reminds me, I even have a vision board.
Vision board,
Another thing that's very
okay, we'll talk about it.
So
we'll do that. Yeah, so thank you so much for coming through.
You so
and
much
we'll definitely have this conversation again somewhere first quarter 2026. But Abby also has a podcast. Abby, tell us briefly in 60 seconds your podcast, the channel.
It's called the Abby Imani Review Show, where we talk about every aspect of life so that we can live the abundant life that Christ has given us. And I also have Stay Fit with Abby Imani for the fitness videos. So subscribe, like, share, and help me get to my mark to start the monetization.
Very, very necessary. So please subscribe to her channel, and also don't forget to subscribe to Other Side with Nii Anang on YouTube, and you can also follow the show on Spotify. Just support us so we'll be able to bring you more engaging and educating content in 2026.
Sorry, I'm actually also on Spotify.
Yeah.
I'm working on Apple Podcast as well, but I'm on Spotify too. So you can find the Abby Imani Review show on Spotify. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Abby.
Thank you too for having me. It's been good.
We are done.